I'm going to sit back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of the official part, playing of the national anthem, followed by the invocation given by Captain Wilson Treffs. Please remain standing and welcome Chaplain Treffs for the delivery of the invocation.
Good morning. At ease, please. I would invite you to join me in a prayer of blessing over our new senior NCOs. Heavenly Father, today is a day of celebration, as we are blessed to have the next generation of senior leaders step forward and assume this great calling. We humbly ask your blessing over each one of them, granting them wisdom, insight, humility, and confidence. Give them strength to stand tall when needed, and peace in their hearts in times of difficult decisions. And we also ask for special blessing over their families, as they support their loved ones in carrying out this new level of great responsibility. We pray these things in your holy name. Amen. You may be seated.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today you will witness the induction of our newest Master Sergeants into the Senior Non-Commissioned Officer Corps. We are honored to have with us as our presiding official for today's ceremony, the 158th Fighter Wing Commander, Colonel David Shevchik. We are also privileged to have our guest speaker for today's event, Command Chief of the Air National Guard, Chief Master Sergeant Maurice Williams. We are extremely honored to have in attendance the Adjutant General of Vermont, Major General Gregory Knight, Vermont National Guard Senior Enlisted Advisor, Command Sergeant Major Chipman, Director of Staff Air, Brigadier General Lambert, Assistant Adjutant Air, Brigadier General Hart, 158th Vice Wing Commander Colonel Rice, and the State Command Chief Master Sergeant Luis Paul. We would also like to welcome our guests, commanders, chiefs, and first sergeants, as well as our fellow VTANG airmen, family, and friends via live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the recital of the Airman's Creed. I am an American air. I am a warrior. I advance with my nation's call. I am an American air. My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am faithful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor. I am an American air. Guardian of freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield. Its century of energy. I defend my country with my life. I am an American airman. Wingman, leader, warrior. I will never leave him behind. I will never falter, and I will not fail. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce you the Adjutant General of Vermont, Major General Gregory Knight.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity to be here today. It means a lot. This is certainly a significant event for many of you. Would all of our incoming senior NCOs stand up for me, please? How about that? Give them all a hand. Appreciate what you do for us. You've all heard me say it before. I think it bears repeating. You're different. All right? By virtue of being in uniform, to me, sets you apart from everybody else. When we look across our nation, there are those that can serve, and there are those that will. You said, I'll go. So thank you for that. That means the world to us as an organization, and in your new role, we're going to need you. So sometimes, even though I'm Army, I do read things. And what I'm going to offer you today shouldn't really come as a surprise to anybody, because it's right out of Air Force Handbook 36-2618, the enlisted force structure. And I'm not going to read it in its entirety, but there are some pretty great extracts that come out of there, specifically on the role of the NCO and the senior NCO. So for your consideration, as new senior NCOs and as a reminder for all of us, NCOs lead and develop subordinates and exercise effective followership in mission accomplishment. They increase knowledge and understanding of and mentor junior enlisted airmen on the institutional and occupational competencies required to accomplish the mission. They demonstrate and facilitate a climate of effective followership by willingly owning, explaining, and promoting leaders' decisions. Then we get into the senior, that's an NCO. If senior in grade, you accept the responsibility for assuming the role of leader. Responsibility and accountability increase commensurate with grade. You actively lead and supervise subordinates, and you stay professionally engaged with them on a daily basis, both on and off duty. You support civilian and officer professional development by sharing knowledge and experience to best meet the organization's mission requirements. You epitomize excellence, professionalism, pride, and competence, serving as a role model for all to emulate. Translate leaders' directions into specific tasks and responsibilities their teams understand and execute. I boil it down to who needs to know and did you tell them. And you help leaders make informed decisions. I'm going to encourage you to voice your opinion and leverage your experience. And understand, I learn it every day, mentorship is a two-way street. And lastly, you promote responsible behaviors within all in your purview. So if you do that, we'll be just fine. So look, becoming a senior NCO, it's a capstone in your career. And it comes with additional responsibility. So you've joined a very small population who've earned the privilege of leading our people. I have every expectation that you will do so. I'd like to thank you for your service. I'd like to thank you all for making us a better organization. And as always, if I may ever be in service, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll help you where I can. Congratulations again, and thanks everybody for your continued service.
Thank you, General. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the presiding official of today's ceremony, Colonel David Shevchenko.
Since the boss did this, I'll pull this from. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, team and families. Those here in person or connecting with us virtually. A special thanks to our First Sergeant team for setting this all up. It's always a lot of work to set up these type of ceremonies. And frankly, we haven't done enough of them lately. We're going to do more. So thanks to also our comm and PA team for the connectivity to be able to connect those that can't watch it, and our families that are hopefully able to watch either live stream or later on. And then also to our fuel shop for providing the space. Space is always at a premium. It looks sharp, it looks clean, and it looks extremely professional. So thank you very much for hosting and providing the space. Generals, welcome, and thank you for the ETP, for the exception to policy. In my mind, there's no greater reason for an exception to policy or an ETP than for an event like this and for people like you. We haven't done enough of these, and we're going to continue to do more regardless of the environment because it's the right thing to do. So thanks for the ETPs to do an event like this. And what a special honor and a special privilege it is to have our Air National Guard Command Chief, Chief Williams, and Team 13 here to celebrate and recognize our talented and deserving professionals. Thank you, Chief, for being here and making the trip with Team 13. To our new senior NCOs, you're an elite and special group of professionals, and we, Chief Stebbins and I, have had the privilege to work with many of you over the years for quite some time. And the faces I see out there are not surprising. And by faces, I mean here up. But they're not surprising. We're proud of all of you. As your commander, my charge to you and expectations to you are simple. I'm going to ask you to have the wow factor. And you know I have this thing about initialism, so I'll explain to you, but what do I mean about the wow factor as a senior NCO? W-O-W. Wear it with pride, because you've earned it. You deserve it. And it's a big deal, as the boss said. Remember, it's carried with you all the time. There is no off-duty. You are a senior NCO in the United States Air Force, and that's something to be extremely proud of. O. Own it. Own your actions, your decisions, your responsibilities, your mistakes. And the last W, wield it. Your rank comes with it responsibility and an obligation. I ask you always to have the moral courage to do what's right and not what's easy. Wear it, own it, wield it. As the new Chief of Staff, General Brown challenges us to do, accelerate, change, or lose. I know we won't. You know we won't. Your commanders and chiefs know we won't. Our team knows we won't. We won't lose. Because we have elite professionals like you that amaze and inspire and motivate every day. Chief and I are always in awe of what our team has been able to accomplish, especially when you look back on this year, when this pandemic started, everything that we've done on all our missions, state and federal, and with members deployed. That makes us all proudly reflect and say, wow. Because I look at professionals like you, wow, that's a senior NCO in our United States Air Force. That's an American Army, and I know we're in good hands. So congratulations, I'm extremely proud of you. We, your Wing Command team, are extremely proud of you. And I look forward to working with you more in the future. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Chief Williams and Chief Stebbins will join Colonel Shevchik to present these senior non-commissioned officer inductees an award for their achievement of the rank of Master Sergeant. Master Sergeant Patrick Bailey, please come forward. Master Sergeant Lindsey Bond. Master Sergeant Corey Berger. Master Sergeant Juan Coleman. Master Sergeant Elena Corbier. Master Sergeant David Furson. Master Sergeant Michael Dagner. Master Sergeant Jeffrey Gorey. Master Sergeant Christopher Gay. Master Sergeant Peter Gunn. Master Sergeant Carl Hanson. Master Sergeant Michael Kelly. Master Sergeant Michael Langfield. Master Sergeant Kevin Lilly. Master Sergeant Robert Mill. Master Sergeant Jessica Mitchell. Master Sergeant Francis Pastor. Master Sergeant Megan Robitaille. Master Sergeant Mark Robert. Master Sergeant Justin Tierney. Master Sergeant Keith SNCO. At this time, we would like to recognize the new Master Sergeants who could not be here today. Master Sergeant Kirk Benzina, Master Sergeant Victoria Kadji, Master Sergeant Jason Calhoun, Master Sergeant Nicholas Camper, Master Sergeant Joshua Danis, Master Sergeant Brant Daramiah, Master Sergeant Jonathan DuPont, Master Sergeant Seth Paul, Master Sergeant Rachel Crawford, Master Sergeant Charles Thurston Jr., Master Sergeant Rebecca Martineau, and our deployed members, Master Sergeant Christopher Brown, Master Sergeant Shannon Daniels, Master Sergeant August Hoagland, Master Sergeant Jason Hopkins, and Master Sergeant Kevin Maxwell. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it is our pleasure to present our keynote speaker, the Command-in-Chief of the Air National Guard, Chief Master Sergeant Williams.
Hey, it's a great day to be here in Vermont, even though it's cold, but, with what we have going on today, it will warm us up. It's always a great opportunity to recognize those who are achieving things and moving to the next level. Hey, to all the senior master sergeants out there, at this point, you're transitioning from that technical skill individual and first line team supervisor to a leader of competence that will merge the skills and talents of those that you lead to accomplish the mission. That's what you will do. Within the Air Force, we want to utilize our Air Force foundational competencies. Think about this. There are 4. Developing yourself, developing others, developing organizations, and developing ideas. When you're developing yourself, you're investing in yourself to make yourself better, to grow. When you're developing others, you're taking that skill and gift that you have to imply in them. When developing organizations, you're broadening that scope to make it the best organization it can be. When you're developing ideas, that's when you're being innovative and adaptive to make the Air Force successful. So with those 4 things, that's what you should do. And what that will lead to? Accelerated change. How do we accelerate change? We empower those at the lowest level. That's how we're going to do to make that investment in those that are below us to keep us ahead of our near-peer adversaries. I was in a meeting just a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things they said, hey, the greatest investment the United States can do to stay as a great power is to invest in leadership. So the ultimate thing we can do is lead those that we serve. And one of the things we always must remember, and it's a quote by John Maxwell that I like, one of my favorite quotes. It says, leaders become great not because of their power, because of the ability to empower others. So I leave you with that quote. Let's go out, let's change the world, let's empower folks. Good? So now, let us ask you to stand as we go over the NCO charge. Please stand. To the NCOs, in the United States of the Air Force, a Master Sergeant joins an elite group. The term sergeant is an ancient honorable one that denotes a person possessing special skills, trust, and integrity. All of you are master sergeants, which means you have mastered the techniques and ability required of non-commissioned officers. As you progress to senior master sergeant and chief master sergeant, your title will change, but not the designation as a senior non-commissioned officer. You are afforded the privilege, not awarded to others. You are freely accept the responsibility beyond the call of normal duty. You have by your actions and performance earned the respect of seniors and juniors. As master sergeant, your entire way of life will change. More will be expected of you. More will be demanded of you. You have a responsibility to follow your footsteps. As a member of this group, you have a responsibility to your fellow senior NCOs, even as they have a responsibility to you. Inductees, please repeat after me. I am a non-commissioned officer in the United States of the Air Force. I hold allegiance to my country. Duty to devotion and a personal integrity above all. I wear my rank of authority and dignity. I promote the higher standards of conduct, appearance, and performance by setting an example. I seek no favors because of my rank. I'm devoted to the concept of service rather than personal gain. I uphold the traditions of a senior non-commissioned officer who precedes me. I manage resources under my control with astute efficiency. And I lead the way with the highest levels of competence. I always strive to merit the respect of my fellow senior non-commissioned officers. All right, I gave a mouthful there, slow down. I always strive to merit the respect of my fellow senior non-commissioned officers, and all with whom I come in contact. Hey, let's give them a round of applause for the time. from the front. Hook.
Thank you, Chief Mr. Chairman. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of the United States Air Force and the Air National Guard are proud of these newly inducted senior NCOs and look forward to working with them as they take on new challenges. Please stand for the departure of the official party. This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. We're invited to congratulate our new senior NCOs while being mindful of COVID guidelines. Thank you and have a good day.